on talking about civil rights and enjoying the fruits of a social illusion that somehow they are progressing with civil rights. And minister and black ministers always talking about how far we've come, how black folk have progressed. And I'm telling you that black folk have not progressed one iota since 1860 on the eve of the Civil War. As a matter of fact, they've gone backwards. They're more ill prepared today than they were ever in history. And that's, as a matter of fact, back in 1920s, I had and per 100,000 blacks, I had 20 times more black businesses in 1920 you got today. And those black businesses could provide some service to black folk in terms of food. Where are black folk gonna get food from? Where are they gonna get water from? You're gonna have water shortages and food shortages now coming up when this virus is over. Water is gonna become a premium. I told black folk a long time ago, about 1970, started to being able to own and control water. And if Dr. Anderson, you're wrong because why are we gonna buy water? Water is free. No, it's not. I said, water is gonna become very expensive. I said, start learning how to get into the water business, owning and controlling water. And that was in 1990. By 1999, guess what? That water had become so expensive that water was costing 4 times what gasoline costs per gallon. You go in and buy a little small bottle of water, about a pint of water, costs a damn $1. A pint of gas don't cost no damn $1. See, a gallon, that's 4 times more expensive than gasoline. I said, learn how to own and control water, build water businesses, go into the bottled water business and control it. They ignored it. Now, when water become that critically important, people are gonna start having trouble getting clean water. They're just gonna have it right now. 20 to 5% of all the people on the earth right now suffering from water shortages. They can't get water, can't get clean water any place on earth right now. 20% of the world right now, 25% is suffering from lack of water. And guess what? If you have a shortage of lack of water, next thing gonna come up is gonna be a short of food that's coming. You can't get food right now in all these black neighborhoods. They're gonna be able to get food. You don't produce anything. Where you gonna get? How you gonna feed and clothe your people and give them water and food, and you don't own and control the damn thing? And half the people want you out of the world. 88% of the people right now, white people right now, still have a despised feeling about black folk. And it was 98% during slavery. Now it went down to 88%. 63 to 64% of all the immigrants coming to this country do not like black folk. Nobody is coming to America to get along with black folk. You have no friends any place on this earth. Everybody wants to use you and exploit you. And when the best way to do it is by controlling water and food, that's coming. And you talk about, well, doctor, we can order it online. You won't be able to order online. Downstream, if upstream production ends with water and food, downstream delivery is gonna get wiped out. Everybody right now in Chicago sitting on the phone in the home, get on the phone, calling, saying, telling Amazon, send me this, send me this, send me that. The delivery service is gonna fold up. One thing that God gave me when I was born, the vision to be able to tell black folk in advance. That's why I devoted my whole life trying to educate them, that you're gonna have delivery shortages pretty soon. UPS, FedEx, and the rest of these places, they're not gonna be able to deliver stuff to you. They're gonna be overwhelmed. They're reaching a tipping point. Pretty soon you're gonna have shortages in delivering stuff. Why? Because everybody's sitting on the telephone at home calling saying, bring me some groceries, bring me some clothes, bring me this, bring me some nails and tools, bring me something to fix my toilet. That's gonna end. They cannot deliver all that stuff. They cannot make all those residential deliveries every day and stay in business. Your big company's gonna go out, they're gonna deliver service gonna fail. And you don't even control and own the delivery services. I know that sounds bad, but I'm giving you the stuff today, Dr. Watkins, but that's the long and the short of it. And that's why every one of my books addressed all these issues, laid it out for them, and saying, here are your problems. So the 4 things that hurt black folk: social integration, massive human migration from country to country. And the 3rd one is called technology. And the 4th one is globalization. They moved all these businesses and industries out of the United States and moved them abroad into Mexico and Europe. And even back during segregation, you could find some of the professional help you needed. You had black nurses and black doctors, black engineers, black clinics, black hospitals in the black community. You haven't got a damn thing in a black neighborhood now. So how are you going to compete? You're aggregated together with nothing. Now, I mean, you got to be suicidal, put yourself in that condition. But it was put together by people who were blind and couldn't see far enough down the road. They were working on a dream rather than a vision. But black folk have not awakened to it, and now the 4 horses of the apocalypse is on their backs. and they got major problems, and they're gonna die. And for every white that catches, contracts the virus, 6 blacks will get it. For every white person that dies, 6 blacks are gonna die. But I'm not gonna beg black folks to get the understanding. When the system collapses, there's nothing upstream producing, and downstream, it's gonna collapse, nothing delivered. You're in a world hurt. That's why you're gonna die 6 times faster and be sicker, 6 times worse than whites in another group in this country. Most of the black funeral homes in America aren't even owned by blacks anymore, because they found out that black folk spent more money on funerals than whites did. And so they started taking over black funeral homes. They're now owned mostly by whites. They had black churches participating in it, because they were getting paid $100, $150 by every time a black member of that church died. They called a white funeral home. It is bad. It is bad, Dr. Watkins. And I mean that. I could go on and on, but I'm gonna stop right here before we go to another point. No political candidate ever promised and delivered anything to black folk. The Republican Party hasn't delivered a damn thing to you. Yet all these blacks are so happy to run and say, I'm gonna vote for Biden. I'm gonna vote for Trump. And neither one of them's gonna promise you a damn thing. Please, please, don't let my life be in vain. I put 60 years in trying to help black folk. I devoted my entire life trying to re-educate them and put out those 5 books: Black Labor, White Wealth, Powernomics, Dirty Little Secrets, and the Black History Reader, saying if you read these things, you have a better understanding, they have a prepared mind and a prepared community. You cannot survive without a community or a broad sense of community. And remember what I said, a prepared mind helps you build a prepared community, then you got a chance of prospering and competing. You can't do it otherwise. Civil rights and social integration and simply watching football games and basketball games is not gonna cut it. Nobody cares about how far, what you can produce running up with a damn ball. You're producing sweat and nobody's buying the damn sweat, and sweat cannot keep your butt alive. So tell them to get those books as fast as they can. That way we got some unity. We got a platform we can communicate through what I call a sense of community. Once they get an understanding, then people like you and your schools and stuff, you can communicate with them. You'll all be on common ground with a common understanding of the nature of the problems that black folk that are confronting black folk. But without those books, there are no other books that can give you give you this information I'm giving you. I'm giving this information both on all my years of 60 years in all levels of government, from the highest levels you can get, with presidents, with governors, run their campaign, with attorney generals, with congressional people, state legislators and mayors. I was there with them and advising them on how to do it. I predicted all these things for the last 50 or 60 years that they were coming to black folk. And I tried to, and so I have some satisfaction on hitting the nails on the head all the time, I guess either by nature or by God's blessings and gifts and vision that I tried to share with black folk. Whatever impacts the broader society is going to be 5 times or 6 times greater when it comes down the line, because everything is vertically ordered and black folk are on the bottom of the barrel. So when white folks get this virus, and in terms of contracting it, black folk are going to contract with more blacks, 6 blacks going to contract and die from the virus versus every one for whites to get it and die. It's going to visit the black community. But black folk are totally ill prepared to deal with it. And that's why all my books talked about that. They don't have any of the things they need to be able to deal with. First of all, they don't have communities. And without communities, they only have is vacant, porous neighborhoods where anything can come in and out. They have no food supply services in there. They have no no medical supplies in there. They have no drug stores. They have no grocery stores, supermarkets. They have no means to be able to survive sufficiently in those neighborhoods, and therefore they're going to die from it. Black folk are going to be wiped out unless they start practicing group economics and group politics, even though it might be a little too late now to do it.
Everybody who's watching, I'm speaking with Dr. Claude Anderson. Dr. Anderson is the author of the books Powernomics, Black Labor, White Wealth, The Black History Reader, and Dirty Little Secrets 1 and 2.